Clinton accusing Donald Trump of encouraging violence at his campaign rallies over the course of this campaign. She must have forgotten about that hidden camera video released this week by Project Veritas showing top Democratic operatives, that is, read Hillary Clinton campaign operatives, discussing voter fraud, planning protesters to incite violence at Trump's campaign events and rallies.
He incites violence, where he applauds people who are pushing and pulling and punching at his rallies.
So sad when she talks about violence at my rallies, and she caused the violence. It's on tape.
Folks, there's a word used in New York that just is so perfect for this. Chutzpah. To have the chutzpah to sit there and charge him with that when the Veritas videos, James O'Keefe is revealing that top operatives had a campaign to orchestrate and to agitate violence at the Trump rallies. Incredible. Well, Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor raising some eyebrows with her comments about violence. If she'd been a Republican, it would have been more than an eyebrow raised. During a question and answer session at the University of Minnesota with some 2,700 folks present, the justice admitted that the late Justice Antonin Scalia's opinion sometimes infuriated her. Sotomayor said, quote, "I've told people there are things he said on the bench when if I had a baseball bat, I might have used it. But when you work so intimately with people, you get to know the really personal good side of them." Whew, that was close. Her remarks prompted laughter from the room, and again, if she'd been a Republican, I think it would have probably launched a nationwide liberal media campaign against her for, for her language, just the very thought of it, you know, the usual drill. Joining me now, host of the Mike Gallagher radio show on the Salem Radio Network, Mike Gallagher, Pulitzer Prize-winning columnist for the New York Post, Fox News contributor, Michael Goodwin. Thank you both for being here.
Baseball bat.
Wow. Whoa. I mean, that's big stuff. She said it in, I think she said it in a good spirit and put it in some context. But you know, if she'd been a Republican, they'd have eaten her alive across probably front pages of this country.
It'd be a safe zone if Donald Trump said something about a baseball bat. Trigger. I mean, this is violence. You know how the I mean, it's unbelievable. To watch this day unfold the way it has is mind-blowing. It's so stunning to see Trump's point proven for him when he talks about a rigged system, and here they go all day long as if there's some sacrosanct a pledge somewhere that he has to promise that he's not going to be cynical about the election results. Oh, wow. Crazy stuff.
You know, we have had people say, I mean, that this was a threat to democracy itself, that it just isn't done, that this is, we're a republic, and, I mean, preposterous, sanctimonious nonsense. What do you make of it?
Well, look, I think it's consistent with a long string of things where when Democrats do it, it's okay, it's necessary, it's patriotic.
You mean like Al Gore, 2000?
Or even dissent, right? Any kind of dissent from the president is patriotic when Democrats do it, and it's unpatriotic when Republicans do it. I mean, this is the cultural domination that the media, I think, is exercising over this country, and so a lot of things get seen not through a neutral prism, but through a biased prism.
Yeah, by the way, I think we're way beyond, in my opinion, folks, bias in the national media. They are complicit. They are defined by it. They are it. This is who they are. This isn't like a little cant to one side or the other. This is them full on, absolutely screaming left-wing ideology.
It's a corruption, and they admit it. They're writing about it. Jim Rutenberg in the New York Times said, listen, we have to be advocates to stop Donald Trump. That's the role these
guys... By the way, Rutenberg, for the record, writes in the news hall, not in the opinion page.
Right. And he defends stopping Trump because Trump is so odious. I mean, it's unbelievable to watch this play out, and I don't know if the American people are going to get it or not. They very well may. We could see a Brexit.
Well, I was say, so many things that we see in the mainstream media are the same way. I mean, the police violence against innocent black men. I mean, it's another one of those where all the weight is put on one side.
In Seattle, Washington, a report today, 2,000 teachers going to school, Black Lives Matter. Parents and kids invited to join in the festivities. This becomes indoctrination. It has not a dadgum thing to do with education, which, by the way, is lamentably poor in our public schools nationwide.
But that doesn't get written about.
No, it doesn't get written about. But what does get written about is Donald Trump is caricatured because he said he would not, like some sort of chump, accept any election result that, and we have just gone through and cited chapter and verse the reasons that he has every reason in the world to be suspicious, why every American has a reason to be suspicious of the Democratic Party. They forget that the top three members of the Democratic Party, the DNC chairman, and two others, their top officials, were fired for conspiring and colluding against Bernie Sanders' candidacy in favor of Hillary Clinton.
Listen, they all screamed during Bush-Gore, the election was rigged. Look what happened. The election was stolen. Last week, Al Gore on a campaign stop with Hillary Clinton, nodding at his side, saying, you know, I should have won. Don't ever let this happen to me. Are you kidding me? Trump says it, and the sky falls in. You've got to be kidding.
Lou, I mentioned to you earlier, but there's a wonderful column online by Steve Carter about the history of people contesting elections in this country. I mean, it happens
online.
constantly.
It's on Bloomberg. I think we need to give them credit for that.
And it goes back to John Quincy Adams. I mean, there are many elections have been contested, and that's just the presidential level.
But how in the world can the liberal media, with a straight face, be clucking and admonishing Donald Trump when he's doing A, the smart thing, B, the right thing, C, the historical thing, and absolutely they ignore history, context, and his responsibility to his voters.
And the answer is they want to stop him at all and any costs, whatever it takes.
And by the way, when you hear that kind of clucking, you're listening to or reading people who are part of the problem. And the problem is very real, it is very big, and everyone should be skeptical in this day and age because of what the national liberal media has forfeited, and that is the public's trust. Mike Gallagher, Michael Goodwin, thanks for being here.
Excellent.
We appreciate it.
Take care.
On Wall Street, stocks slipping, the Dow falling 40 points, the S&P down 3, the NASDAQ down 5, volume on the big board, 3.3 billion shares. It's been something of a, I think you would call it a mellow week on Wall Street. A reminder to listen to my reports 3 times a day, coast to coast on the Salem Radio Network. How'd I do, Mike?
Perfect. Just the way I wrote it.
Up next, Donald Trump says Hillary's open borders would put our country in grave danger.
She wants open borders. People are going to pour into our country. People are going to come in from Syria. She wants 550% more people than Barack Obama. And he has thousands and thousands of people. They have no idea where they come from.
I'm joined by America's toughest sheriff. Joining me here next with reaction to the final debate, Trump's path to November 8th. Joe Arpaio joins us next. We're coming right back. Stay with us.